is not just a Messiah in words, but also in deeds. After the series of Matthean chapters of Jesus' preaching and teachings, today's Gospel marks the beginning of Jesus' ministry of healing and putting his words into actions. He willed to heal the leper. Today's reflection of mine sets the focus on the words of the leper, saying, "Lord, if you will, or if you wish, you can heal me." The stories of the lepers in the scriptures always have something to teach us. We recall the one leper who, by returning to Jesus to thank him, teaches us about gratitude. This one teaches us about grace. 30 years ago, my mom suffered and passed away due to lung cancer. I find life really tough and unfair. And as the oldest in the family, I was torn into emotional and financial battles. Mom was the breadwinner in the family. Immediately when she was diagnosed with such sickness, I felt weak, in despair, so down, for I know I was not ready yet to take her position as the breadwinner of the family. The first 5 years after her death, those were years of continuous search for meanings of my existence without my mom. I went through depression, became antisocial, and difficulty to share to what I went through to any, even to my closest friends. However, I remained a believer of God's presence. Yes, I asked many questions to God, yelled at him. I was so true to my feelings before him. How mad I was when he took my mom that early. Pains and sufferings caused her by her death is far more arduous than not feeling any pains at all. But God has his ways to heal those pains. There is this invisible cord that connects us to the Matthean Gospel, to him. He may have allowed me to experience, but he knows that I can bear it and still his great love for me. My sufferings had led me to reflect the story of the leper in the Gospel today. He made me realize, how should I dispose myself before the Lord, even in the darkest moments of life? In fact, the most striking about this leper is his unexpected courtesy that he extends to the Lord. His need for cure does not make him demanding. By no means does his desperation make him believe that the help he asks for is not the right that he is entitled to collect. Rather, it is a gift that will be given him only if Jesus wishes. Wishes are granted to those who request for it, but this is not always the case to all of us. We know for the fact that not all that we would ask of God will be granted. However, true gifts are given only if the Lord wishes to give it. Perhaps God delays it, or he has better plans to give us. But in today's Gospel, we have heard the man with leprosy said to Jesus, "Lord, if you wish, you can heal me." These words were expressed by the leper with courtesy. He did not sound demanding. He presented himself before the Lord with humility and all honesty as to what his heart desires. The leper is courteous and hopeful, despite the desperation of his situation. He expressed his wish with trust in God, patience, and humility. People with this kind of sickness at the time of Jesus were neglected, maltreated, rejected, and ostracized by society, and that includes being disowned by their own families. As we have heard in this narrative, the healing of the leper, Jesus was moved with compassion and pity to the wish of the leper. Jesus is completely informed that lepers were socially discriminated against, condemned to extreme poverty and social isolation, relegated to the fringes of society, and even denied entry to temples for worship gatherings. However, this man came to him humbly and expressed his desperate wish to be cured. He fell into the feet of Jesus with courtesy, with sense of decency, respect, and uttered the words of great faith. Immediately, without hesitation, Jesus extended his hands as he was moved with compassion, saying, "Of course, I want to be cured. And in that instant, the leper is cleansed and cured. See how the Lord blesses those who fear Him. The hospitality of God to those who pray to Him with great fear and love is limitless, boundless, unconditional, and never selective. The leper who has been physically present in the society, but had been long experienced rejection and ostracized in society, but he came to Jesus. So Jesus' compassion was not only expressed in words saying, "Be healed," but He extended His hands and touched the leper to return that courtesy to the man, who probably had been untouched and hungry of human touch for a while because of his sickness. His leprosy made him invisible in the eyes of the people, but not in the eyes of Jesus. Like the leper, each one of us have our own stories of sufferings, pains, and rejections in life, no matter how much we prove it to people, our capacities, and goodness. Still, some people's reactions nowadays made us feel that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not successful enough, I am not holy enough. These are self-accusing statements, and our soul-crushing, which is equivalent to the lepers, with the leper saying, "Unclean, unclean." And there are many forms of leprosy in the present time in the world. There are emotional and spiritual leprosy. Saint Mother Teresa once said, "The greatest disease in the West today is not tuberculosis or leprosy. It is being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for." However, today physical diseases can now be cured with medicine, but to be in despair, loneliness, and hopelessness is with love. The story of the leper is telling us today to remain steadfast in faith, insistent and consistent in our prayers, as St. Paul said in his letters, to be patient and humble in our prayers before God. Our Lord never resists a humble heart. We all have our fair share of rejections, different levels of desperations, and maybe at some degree being ostracized by communities or perhaps by our relations. And whatever situation you are in your life today, you are not far from the leper's circumstance. Maybe one of us here are desperate to be healed from emotional, physical, and relational challenges in life. But it's never too late to be like that of the leper, to come to Jesus and say, "Lord, if you wish, you can heal me. Lord, if you wish, grant me the strength to carry on, to carry the burdens in my heart. Lord, if you wish, grant me serenity of heart, that I may live peaceably. Lord, if you wish, grant me the courage to carry on with the vocation I have chosen to follow your will, with clear mind and sound intention." So I pray that we may increase in our faith by trusting God's will for us, regardless of circumstances we may be experiencing. Our reactions to our current situations may be an offshoot of our frustrations, or could be a way of showing our complete trust in God. See how the Lord blesses those who fear Him. See how He blessed and cured the man with leprosy. This healing can also be yours.